Alright guys, today we're gonna be reacting to I really respect Germany for this. I really respect Germany for this. We're gonna be reacting to this video right here. A lot of people have different opinions when it comes down to Germany. I'm just here to learn from a different culture. And hopefully all the things that we learn from them are good and bad. One are nice. When you're eating a soup, you don't want a soup. You don't want the soup only with this pasta in it, right? You want the soup with a little bit of meat, a little bit of egg, a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of potato. That's what we want from Germany. That's all. We're not expecting perfection, but we're expecting the bad, the good, and the middle one. Let's jump in and see what's going on.
Been around since 1596.
God damn.
Wow. Now, in that
What? Almost 500 years? Golly.
bookstore, there's a small little
Sorry,
English section where I found this book
Why the Germans do
called
it better?
Why the Germans Do It Better. Now, I'm only like 30 pages into the book, so I can't really recommend it or not recommend it yet. I will say it is pretty interesting so far. But what has caught my eye and made me want to make this video were two sentences on the first page of the book. Now, I've got to read two paragraphs to give you context for the two sentences. And here it is. In January 2021, Germany turned 150 years old, but its people barely marked that milestone. Germany, from the time of Bismarck to that of Hitler, is synonymous with militarism, war, the Holocaust, and division. No country has caused so much harm in so little time. And yet, two nearby anniversaries tell a different history. In November 2019, millions celebrated 30 years since the Berlin Wall came down. In October 2020, 3 decades had passed since reunification. Half of modern Germany's lifespan has been a tale of horror, war, and dictatorship. The other half is a remarkable tale of atonement, stability, and maturity. No country has achieved so much good in so little time. Those two sentences at the end of each paragraph. No country has caused so much harm in so little time, and no country has achieved so much good in so little time. All right, everybody, of course, knows all the bad terrors from World War II and the Holocaust, but one thing I think a lot of people don't really know about, and I didn't really know about until I came to Germany, was how well this country does and how much effort it puts into making sure those horrible things never happen again in the future. And a big part of that is education on what had happened in the past. You know the old saying, those who do not know history are doomed to repeat it. I think Germany takes that pretty seriously. In the introduction of this book, a very powerful memorial tool is mentioned. Something that I've known about since my first year in Germany, something that I see all the time, something that whenever my family members come here to visit, I point it out to them and they always find it very powerful as well. I see these things all the time, and now that I'm actually looking for them, I can't seem to find them. But I know there's quite a few here.
What is it, man? Man, come on, man. Oh, come on, man. You're making me wait now. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. You should have stretched a little bit to get that 8 minute, man. It's a beautiful building, right? Where is it? What's that? What's that? What's that?
The Stolpersteine, or stumbling stones. Now, I'll let Rachel from DW's Meet the Germans explain.
One subtle yet striking part of the memorial culture in Germany are the Stolpersteine, or stumbling stones. These small brass squares are inscribed with the names of victims of the Nazi regime and set into the pavement outside their last known address. The project was started in the 90s by German artist Gunter Demnig, and today there are more than 75,000 stumbling stones across Germany and other countries. But even this is not without controversy. The city of Munich has actually banned the stones from being installed on public ground, after some people, including a prominent Jewish community leader, argued that it was disrespectful to commemorate victims with something on the ground that you can walk over. The city has instead...
Oh, hold up. See, now we had two sides of the coin here. So what do we do here? So you try to commemorate the people who were killed during the war. but a person that's part of the community saying, do not put anything because that is disrespectful, and I'm not liking it. I don't want to feel like you guys are, walking over us. Oh, it's a hard one, folks. It's a hard one.
Adopted for wall plaques like this one.
So I can understand the controversy behind some of these. I mean, these are supposed to be memorials that pay respect to victims, and if they're on the ground, people can walk over them, and just by nature, that's not a respectful act. So I understand a little bit of the controversy behind them, but I'm actually a fan of these. In my opinion, it lowers the barrier of entry for modern day people to learn about history and to be educated about history. It's one thing to be interested and to go to a museum and read and see memorials and learn about it like that. But it's a whole other thing to just be going about your day-to-day life in your city and coming across these memorials that bring history right to you today. You can't help but see those and think about the victims of those horrible events back in the day. It's a pretty powerful experience to be walking into a cafe or restaurant, seeing these stumbling stones on the ground, reading the names of the people and what their ultimate fate was, and then going into that building and looking at the walls, at the floor, at the window, and now having a connection to individual people or families, and to actually be able to think about them while you're there in that building. I think that's a pretty powerful experience.
Yeah,
and
so I think the idea in itself is great. I don't know how you can just get to a balance with that. I don't know. I really don't know.
That you almost can't help but experience when you see these things.
Beautiful.
So I'm a fan of these because it makes learning about history and being informed and being able to pay respect to victims, it makes it much more common and like an everyday thing. Yesterday was November 9th, which is a significant day in German history. A lot of important things have happened on November 9th throughout the years in Germany. Two of the big ones are the fall of the Berlin Wall and then Kristallnacht, the Night of the Broken Glass in 1938. And last night I was walking through Schwäbisch Hall and I stumbled across a gathering of people who were basically
European building, right? Look at that. Beautiful, right?
Paying tribute to the victims of Kristallnacht. They were gathering there, giving a little speech about some victims, playing some music, and really making sure that history is not forgotten. I mean, here we are 80 years later in Germany with these German people who had nothing to do with those horrible events of the past, but take a responsibility and feel a responsibility to make sure that history is kept alive and that people don't forget about it, and to make sure that type of stuff doesn't happen again. I really respect.
Yeah, but we have to move forward. See, that's all good and fine. I understand, but we have to move forward. We understand it, but we have to move forward. It's so good. It's okay to keep it alive, but you still have to move forward, because carrying a heavy monkey in your bag, it's not helping everybody. That's a good memorial. I think it's a great idea, but we have to move forward. And it doesn't matter if you want to do this for 1,000 years. That's fine, but we don't need to move forward. All right, that's my point of view on this.
The more I learn about history, the more I realize that every single country has a dark past. But I think no country addresses their dark past as well as Germany. And I really respect its attitude and behavior on this subject.
70, 80 Jahre danach zu sagen, wir tragen daran Schuld, fände ich viel zu groß. Aber ich glaube, wir tragen eine Verantwortung, dass was irgendwo verhindern, dass sowas wieder passiert.
If you're a German viewer, you probably knew
Make sure that never happens again. Why? You have to really push forward to that, man. Like, let me just go a little. Let me just be the dark cloud here. But why you have to go deep into it? Okay, what's a mistake we get, and it's okay to teach the culture, but you don't want your people to feel guilt, man, because none of these people probably they're never experienced it. Like, I think it's a matter of just teaching that culture. Just be responsible, bro. But watch out with the guilt. That's my point.
about these. This probably isn't anything new to you, but I remember when I first discovered these after coming to Germany from the States, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool that they do that. I think that's a really powerful memorial tool. And I've been meaning to make a video about it for a while, and I think the introduction of this book kind of sparked me to do
Good,
it.
man.
So yeah, guys, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next time.
Yeah, really. I think a shout out to forget his name, man. To Nalf. Shout out to him, man. He good dude. Good videos as well. In my opinion on this, I think that's a great gesture. I think that's a great initiative. Some people are just gonna feel kind of offended for everything, so you cannot please everybody. However, I do think that we should just teach this history, but not carry that guilt, man. Yeah, somehow in the future we have to just learn from that, become greater than what we are, right? But just putting the pressure even in young people, like, man, why? Like, enough, right? Let them be. Let them just carry that history, but let's just learn from it, but not carry it, man. Like, carrying that history in your back, that's gonna be crazy. But I might be wrong here, folks. I might be wrong. Let me know what you guys see in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.